football giants take on Cam Newton and the Carolina Panthers. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to the Carolinas and Bank of America Stadium here in Uptown Charlotte. A short time ago, a scene that never fails to stir up the folks here in Charlotte. Cam Newton strutting his way onto the field. His guys are fired up as they get set to go toe-to-toe with Eli Manning and the New York Giants. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, we look at this Panther ball club as they enter play here. They come in with some fresh legs as they got the week off last week thanks to the early season bye.
And usually you hope your bye comes a little bit later in the year. But when you get a chance to get fresh legs back, you take that time and you run with it.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Giants, they were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
The first quarter of the season already in the rearview mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. It'll be their 8th-year quarterback leading this unit, the MVP of the league back in 2015. Out of Auburn, Cam Newton.
And coming off of an early season open week. And in this situation, what he told us when we sat down with him was he spent a lot of time working on fundamentals, kind of getting back to basics during that time, as opposed to having to worry about healing up or resting up. It was too early in the season. Get back to the basics, get his game going again.
First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Josh Morrow on the stop. And here now the offense for Carolina.
By now you know I love running backs, and C.J. Anderson caught my eye in a big way in 2017. His first 1,000-yard season on the ground, a little bit over 1,000 yards with 1,007, but over 1,200 yards from scrimmage, so you know he can catch it out of the backfield as well. An exciting runner, a powerful runner, and a guy who can be physical when necessary.
Here's Newton. And that's incomplete. He was trying to get that one into the hands of Christian McCaffrey. And now it's 3rd down. A look now at the starters for the Giants defensively. They were very good last week in the win over the Saints.
And while you can't actually see confidence rising in a unit, you can tell by this team, all right? Anytime you can tell your offense, hey, just get us a couple touchdowns. We got this thing locked down. That's when you know you're playing well and you're carrying your team along.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. This is Newton off the play fake to McCaffrey. And he's got his target. That's more. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down.
And the key number on that play, 3. 3rd play of the drive, 3rd down. Spectacular catch turns into a 1st down.
1st down saves them from a 3 and out. On 1st down, this is McCaffrey. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Now that play was doomed right from the start.
They just about ran into every defender on that one, didn't he? It felt like everyone got a piece of that tackle.
On 2nd down, here's Newton. And that's off the mark, incomplete. William Gay, the one who was there defensively.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon.
Offense.
Yeah, that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5.
Still third down.
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now, 3rd and long. Third and long, it's Newton. And this is going to be incomplete.
So we have to remember this offensive unit, they've been off for the last 2 weeks, had an open week, and so it might take them a little while to get back into rhythm. I know they worked hard to try and get past that in practice, but practice isn't game speed.
So on 4th down, kicking it away here, Michael Pilardi. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. They'll be commanded by the veteran QB, the former Walter Payton Man of the Year in the league, Eli Manning.
And I think it's safe to say that, and I heard him say it in the post-game press conference, that was a team win last week because he didn't really play up to his normal standards, throwing 2 interceptions.
No touchdown.
Yeah, didn't offset it at all, but the team found a way to get it done.
Manning and the Giants come up now 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Now a first carry for Jonathan Stewart. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
Manning now on 1st down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Thomas Davis in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. On 2nd down, here's Manning. Trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. It's the Pro Bowler Luke Kuechly that picks it. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
Carolina getting set to take the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Another run, this time McCaffrey. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey, and he gets this down to the 18, good enough for a 1st down. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. Newton again. Throw left side. McCaffrey's got it. They'll get nothing out of that one, and it's going to lead to a 3rd down. Now, the old pass completion for no gain, not something you want to call up out of the playbook too often.
Yeah, most offensive coordinators don't have that on their play sheet, so they've got to go back and scramble after this one. But right now, with what they're telling receivers about making sure you take care of the ball in open field, sometimes the fighting for extra yardage doesn't come as a result. That and good tackling can lead to no yards gained.
Now on 3rd down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete. Credit the Giants defense that time in pass coverage. 4th down.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. That's the 3rd time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the 1st quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. And Gano's kick is right through. And the Panthers stake claim to a 3-0 lead. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here's the Giant offense now making their way back out onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Manning and the Giants come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Manning to throw on 2nd down. Quick hit here, it's complete. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. His first catch, good for 8 and a 1st down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Now Manning. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a gain of 13 for number 13, and it gives him a 1st down. Manning now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, here's Manning. Oh, he can't hang on. That was a dream chance for any D lineman to possibly get a pick, but instead it falls down incomplete. Defensively, here are the starters for Carolina. Well, this unit, very tough to throw against, currently 2nd best in the NFL.
Yeah, this has been a good defense, but they're going to have to really prove it in this one because guess what? They're facing the #1 passing offense in the NFL. It's definitely a prove-it day for them.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. On On second down, they run with Stewart. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
It's really simple to say that they know their identity, that they are a passing team. But one of the reasons that they're so successful, they know how to mix in the run and make sure that they keep the defense off balance and not able to just simply say, let's go get the quarterback and disrupt things.
On third down, Jonathan Stewart. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a fourth down.
When we talk about Luke Kuechly, you can't talk about his overall game without talking about his intelligence and how he controls the whole defense. He quarterbacks that defense, and at times will actually make checks, just like a quarterback would on offense to get them into the right defense. They definitely were on that play. How about that finish, holding that to a minimal gain?
Feeling like they're not quite in field goal range yet. They're going to go for it on fourth. They'll go for it. It's Manning. And my goodness, this is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Panthers will get the football back. And he'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on fourth down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. You know, I've seen, you and I have been in practices where we've seen, hey, third down situation, big third down alert, lock in here, fourth down play, make sure you're focused just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation. Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Back to the ground on first. It's McCaffrey. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. Moving backwards on first down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on second down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
And that is incomplete.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
The Panthers on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Out of the gun, Newton. He's going to float this one deep right side into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Landon Collins. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
They start on the ground. This is Stewart on first. And he'll take this one up to about the 13. And here we get a look at Stewart down on the ground still. Hope this isn't anything serious. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Now the first running back drafted this year is Saquon Barkley. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we've hit the end of quarter one. It's a 3-point game here early. We're back to Uptown Charlotte after this timeout. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Giants with a football here as we begin quarter number 2. They're facing a tough spot, 3rd and 8 here to start things out. They fake the handoff. Now Manning. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Here's Riley Dixon now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. 51 yards on the punt there. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. Cam Newton getting ready to go again on offense. He has not had the start to this game that he envisions here in the 2nd quarter. He's struggling a little bit. But, hey, they're in the lead right now. So kind of what's going on in his head, do you think, Charles?
I think that's what he has to keep in mind. Winning the ball game is not going the way he wants in terms of his own play. But, oh, yeah, that's right, winning the ball game. So don't press. Don't try and do things outside of what's going on right now. Don't try to increase your game or get yourself right. Just make sure you continue to lead your ball club and keep them moving in the right direction.
And they've got that lead so far. 1 interception for him, no touchdown passes. We often, with Cam Newton, talk a lot about his legs. Don't forget about that arm.
He can throw it on a rope. He can loft it. He's got the touch that's been developed throughout his career. But the big part about just watching him throw it, it seems almost effortless.
And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. To throw on 2nd down is Newton. And that's going to be incomplete. Strong safety Landon Collins, the one who got a hand in there, knocked it away.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
Throwing on 3rd down, Newton looking deep downfield. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th.
Boy, you will not see a quarterback of his caliber miss on one like that very often. I mean, there it is, wide open, got the shot, and he misfires.
We talk about, boy, he'll want that one back all the time. He definitely wants that one back. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice. An ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Now Jonathan Stewart getting set to go as he trots back out there. Whatever he was doing in September, they're hoping that that carries over now to October because he was sensational last month.
He absolutely was, and we all know where it started at the end of last season, right? All the offseason preparation, the weight workouts, the sprints, right? The vision that he had, what he was going to do this season, and of course it all came together with the rest of the team. Those big fellas up front, leverage, and boy, they get downfield and create extra blocks for them.
They really are. Everyone's been doing their job so far to create those holes. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Throwing on first down is Manning. Over the middle to Beckham. And he's brought down. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Well, that's the Kickstarter right there. Eli Manning finding his guy, Odell Beckham Jr.
Yeah, it's a deadly combination, isn't it?
It really is, but what really makes it work is just how unflappable Eli is with his demeanor, able to maintain his calm and his poise, because we know OBJ, he can run pretty hot and get excited out there.
Sometimes just one-handed grabs for him.
It doesn't matter what it is. Just throw it up there. He'll go get it.
Now a play fake here on first down. Looking for Shepard deep. And incomplete there, almost picked off. That's one you maybe expect your roaming free safety to come up with. But it's second down.
The name of the game is always on defense, put pressure on the quarterback. And that's exactly what they've done today. It looks like they've got him a little bit rattled. That would have been the second interception in the first half.
Now Manning on the bootleg. Open man right side is Ingram. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
A first down carry for Barkley. He's to the 10. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Saquon Barkley, his second touchdown on the season. And the Giants are in for 6. Well, they ran the toss, trusting he had the speed to get to the edge, and he did.
And there really wasn't any doubt about that because the scouting report told you that this guy could flat out run. When you give him a little bit of space and a chance to get there, he usually does.
Aldrich Rosas on for the extra point. Oh, this is blocked. The defense has it, but he doesn't get far. They're able to stop him. And after all that, the extra point attempt unsuccessful.
I know it's easy to kind of shrug off a blocked extra point, but this game is shaping up to be a tight one. The second half, this could prove crucial.
Yeah, we might look back on this one. We'll have to wait and see. Rosas now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Getting set to go again here, Cam Newton marches back onto the field. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown one interception. He wants to balance that off with at least one touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
They start on the ground with McCaffrey. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
And this really is a good defense because what they've done is focus on stopping the running game and being physical against it.
And the numbers, they really bear that out. They're currently 5th in the National Football League in rushing defense. On third down, Newton. Oh, look at Thomas wide open. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, 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 and what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
On second down, McCaffrey. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
Partner, you mind if I take off this headset and put on a coaching headset?
You want to get this running game going?
I want to get this running game going. I'm going down there and saying, gentlemen, we have got to run the football. We've got to get it going right now.
Yeah, to this point in the second quarter, it has been a struggle. Under 4 to play now. Clock running. 3rd down. Play action. It's Newton. And that is incomplete.
But there's no trace of nervousness there. He was able to diagnose that play from his linebacker position, stay in excellent coverage, and bat the ball away.
Here's Michael Pilardi now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And he'll take this in at the 1-yard line. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Giants' drive will start from deep in their territory with a 1st and 10. Heading back on the field is Jonathan Stewart. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success, at least so far, here in the second quarter.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
Manning to throw on 2nd down. The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. Julius Peppers in there to sack him for a loss of 6.
Now that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. It's caught. Shepard. And he gets this one up just shy of the 35 to the 34. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back with more from Charlotte after this. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. On 1st down, Manning. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. James Bradbury, he was right there to break it up.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches have told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Manning again here on 2nd and 10. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. A giant first down. Manning to an open Beckham.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Manning now on first down. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
I like how they worked the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
They go play action here on first down. Sliding out of the pocket. And he's hit and taken down. Eli sacked. K1 short. Coming up the middle, gets him there for a loss of about 9.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing? That's 3 sacks now, and this team came into the game in the bottom 5 in the league in sacks.
Yeah,
What's going on?
It's not been their bread. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Luke Kuechly in there to drop him, and sacks on first and second downs are going to lead to a 3rd and long.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
One final try now for Manning. And this one is incomplete. So we come upon halftime here with the visiting Giants out on top. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you two in just a bit. But first, let's get everybody caught up with what's going on around the NFL here in Week 5. We'll start up at New Era Field just outside of Buffalo. And it's the Bills with the lead in the second quarter. Josh Allen has thrown a touchdown pass. From there, we'll head to Pittsburgh to check on the Steelers at home at Heinz Field. And at this point, they trail the visiting Atlanta Falcons. Matt Ryan has a touchdown pass. Finally, we finish at MetLife Stadium to see what's going on with the Jets. And they trail the visiting Denver Broncos in that one. Case Keenum with 3 touchdown passes. And our game has been the play of Eli Manning. That's been the story so far. His guys lead, though by only a field goal. Still anybody's game. As we send it back to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. Second half ready to get rolling. The Giants with a lead, and they are set to receive this kick. This one taken just inside the 10. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now Manning throwing on 2nd down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Thomas Davis. And the return stops at the 39-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
They'll try to get the running game going with McCaffrey. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. On 2nd down, here's Newton. Looking left side, that's caught by Moore. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Back to the ground. This time it's Anderson. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it 3rd down at 6.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
To throw on 3rd down. Newton. They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. McCaffrey with a 1st down and more. And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. A great effort there. His first touchdown on the year. And his guys are able to strike for 6. There are several elements to a well-executed screen pass. This one resulted in a touchdown. It had all of those elements.
Hey, you're so right because you really need the rush to almost get to the quarterback, almost get to the passer. Then you've got to get the ball thrown perfectly, whether it's to the running back, the wide receiver, wherever the screen guy is. And, of course, the blocking has to form in front to get him downfield for the touchdown.
Graham Gano on for the extra point. Gano the extra point, and that will make this a 4-point game. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And Carolina scores to cap it off. Gano out to kick this one away. This will be taken very short. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. And the Giants ready to come out now. Manning and the Giants come up now 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. Looking to get the ground game going with Stewart. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge, whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end, in the direction they want to run the football? If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
On 2nd down, here's Manning. Over the middle to Smith. And he's brought down. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 38. Now a handoff. This is Stewart. And he'll be stopped up quickly here at the 38. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. To throw on 2nd down, Manning. And he will find his man on the outside. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
The toss play, Stewart. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
This is Stewart again. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Shaq Thompson on the tackle that time. They'll try and run him. Here's Stewart. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
One advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
And the kick by Rosas is good. And that gets him back within a single point. It's now 10-9. So unable to convert for the touchdown inside the red zone, but they do come away with 3.
Yeah, it's a 32-yarder. That's essentially an extra point nowadays, right? Because it's 33 as a general rule for these guys. So it should be a simple kick. But you know what's really strange nowadays? When they miss an extra point, I think they carry that with them longer than missing a field goal because an extra point's supposed to be automatic.
Absolutely, and I would think even field goals inside of 30 yards, even though they're substantially shorter than a PAT, it just has a different feel, doesn't it?
A different feel, a different vibe. That's what I get from all the kickers I talk to. They always say, if I miss an extra point, that's the one that bothers me more.
So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
This one up to the 26. He'll wind up getting 3 on the keeper there, but it leads to a 3rd down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
The Panthers on 3rd down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This is 3rd and 9. From the gun, here's Newton. And Thomas has it. He'll have a first down past the 40 as he'll get this one up to the 44-yard line. 18 yards there and a first down.
Nice connection there with Ian Thomas, a rookie out of Indiana. And he's one of those guys that I truly believe his best football is ahead of him. Always has been a consistent blocker. His receiving gets better and better. I thought in 2017 with IU, he was terrific. And now, I think he gives a great addition to the Carolina Panthers passing game.
First down. Here's the run with Anderson. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Newton going to hand it off to McCaffrey. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
From the 50, Newton. And he finds a man. It's McCaffrey. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
I don't think what we just saw there was any surprise because when Christian McCaffrey came out of Stanford, we knew he was a threat running it and catching it. And any way you can get the ball in his hands, he wanted to do so. Personally, I thought he ran the best routes of anyone coming out of his draft class, and that included the wide receivers.
Last year, 80 receptions, also in the return game. He's a bit of a Swiss Army knife, isn't he?
He certainly is. Every which way you want to go, however you want to package him, I do think his running production will increase in 2018.
And we're back now in Charlotte. This one's still anybody's ball game. It's a 1-point difference here as we begin the fourth quarter of play. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. They'll give it up to McCaffrey. They'll wind up getting 4 down to the 36.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. Here's Newton now on second down. Over the middle, it's Thomas. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Newton now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Newton. And that's incomplete. Charles, thinking back to what you said in the first quarter, that part of the magic elixir for a road victory for these underdogs was going to be winning the turnover battle. Well, they only have one right now. Look at the scoreboard.
Yeah, not exactly playing to the form that I subscribed, right? When you talk about winning that turnover battle, that evens things out, especially for a road team, especially for a team that's an underdog.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. 2nd and 10, Newton again. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying no more. We're making a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10. They've got to get after him one more time.
It's a loss of 11 on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the right hash, this from 53. And that is no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So the folks on hand here growing a little restless with their kicking game. That's now 2 misses so far.
And in a tight game, fourth quarter, the fans aren't the only ones getting restless, Brandon. There were a few looks of disbelief on that sideline as well.
New York set to take the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want it to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that. They weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
They keep it on the ground again to Stewart. And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
From the gun on third down, Manning. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to fourth down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender.
There goes Jonathan Stewart. Touchdown, Giants. Jonathan Stewart, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the G-men have taken the lead here in the 4th. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
A big play looming for the Giants as they'll go for 2. They'll let Stewart try and run. And he will get into the end zone for the 2 points, and that helps. That gives them a 7-point lead. And so they run it in on the 2-point try. And it's so often, Charles, we talk about from the offense's perspective what you do on the 2-point conversion. How about the defense? How do they play run versus pass?
It's really difficult for them because I think most teams want to play for the pass. That's what they see most teams do. And so are you able to mass enough people inside if the team decides to run it? Very difficult. I think what you're seeing a lot more now, people blitzing the 2-point conversion. They want you to make a quick decision and make it right now.
There, the offense wins the battle for 2. On the return, it's Kenyon Barner. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Now the Panthers offense, they get set to come back onto the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Back to the air, Newton on 2nd down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. This is Newton off the play fake to McCaffrey. And he gets it to Funchess complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Newton finding Funchess for the Panther first down.
One of the feature points of the in route is being able to make a nice throw to the middle part of the field. And for a quarterback, that's one of the better throws and better looks that he'll get. But he has to be careful not to...
This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Picked by Darian Thompson. And the return across midfield and to the 46-yard line. Well, when I saw the pressure coming at him, that just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
And here comes the Giants offense back out onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
25 yards to pick up there, and also a first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
They go back to Stewart on first. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up first and goal. I think this defense tired of seeing him run the football, and this D-line probably getting sick of the O-line as well.
And as I'm watching this, I'm thinking about a conversation I had with Adam Gase, the head coach of the Miami Dolphins in the offseason. He told me that he asked his running backs each week for their favorite runs. Give me your 3 top runs. And right now, you're seeing a guy that's probably using his top runs to great advantage in this game.
He is in a zone. He'll get it up the middle. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. And this situation with a lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Moved back to the 10. They'll try on second and goal here. He's going to get it running right. And he's going to bull his way down to about the 1-yard line. A very valuable 9-yard pickup, but now they're set up a little better here for third and goal. Here's Barkley. And he is in. Touchdown, Giants. Saquon Barkley, his second touchdown of the game, his third on the year. And the Giants are able to grow their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Rosas now to add the PAT. This time, the extra point up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Rosas now to kick this one away. Now it's Barner. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. With his guys trailing here in the fourth, he can ill afford a repeat of the interception that ended the last drive.
Yeah, you're 2 scores down. You take it upon yourself now to play perfect or near perfect football if you want to get your team back into the game. But it's also tough to do when you're trying to avoid errors, yet still play perfect football.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And incomplete on the deep ball. He was looking for the connection with Devin Funchess. And that'll bring up second down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. On 2nd and 10, Newton. And it's incomplete. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter and find their way open.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. He got out of bounds. That's a good thing, but still short of the first.
And now, since this brings up 4th down, the defensive play caller, grab your nerves, because now you don't want to be so amped up that you give them a first down by getting out of your lanes, but you also don't want to just lay back and let them have it easily.
Throwing is Newton. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Thomas. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Now a first down throw for Newton. And that is incomplete here. William Gay, the one who was there defensively.
I'm not even sure I know who this guy is out there playing right now. This is very unlike him, one of the most accurate guys in the league. Totally off his game right now.
I don't know. I was going to ask you what you pin it on, but defensively, they've been pretty solid.
But sometimes, you know, those defenders, they get into the receivers pretty well, and if they chip away at their timing, it's going to affect what you're doing throwing the ball as well.
And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down. And right now, defensively, you love that, don't you? I mean, you'll give them that play.
And they'll take it every single time. This is almost like nickeling and diming it downfield, and too much time's going to run off the clock.
Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion. On 3rd down, Newton. And this is going to be incomplete.
And I think we'll probably see him go for it here on 4th down. No reason not to. Down a couple of scores, they have to try and make something good happen.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Caught left side by Funchess. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I looked down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked in the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
So the drive takes them into Giants territory now, 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On first down, Newton. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on.
Pass interference. Defense.
For this home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
Now Newton on first down. And his throw here's incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Throwing again, Newton. And they get to Newton and take him down for the sack. Kareem Martin in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. Third and long, it's Newton. He's going to let it fly. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off William Gay. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. This spot in the fourth quarter with that deficit, had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
And New York set to take the field. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back for their offense that's playing so well.
Well, they are clicking right now. And now we get a timeout called on the defensive side of the ball by the Panthers, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Another run for Stewart. He's been busy. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Toss right side to Stewart. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Now the Panthers going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Comes to Stewart. And a short gain across the 15 to the 17-yard line. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
Throwing is Manning on 3rd down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. A big gain there, and that that should certainly be enough to put this one in the win column. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
They are in the 4th and Buffalo. And the Bills have now opened up a 2-touchdown lead. A win would be their 2nd on the young season. Jonathan Stewart, his 20th carry. And he'll get this out past the 45 to the 47. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted, no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Giants, they move back over 500 at 3-2 now on the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the Philadelphia Eagles. Meanwhile, for the Panthers, they'll drop down to 1-3. And they'll try to rebound next week on the road in Washington. So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. Till next time, we say so long from Charlotte.